You come up with the equation today. Okay, you're going to come up with the equation today for me. All right, I'll give you some info or I'll give you a graph. You write the equation for me. So before you start any equation, ready? Here's what we need. We need to know what the A value is. That's the number that goes out in front. How do I find the A value? Either they'll tell me by telling me it's the amplitude, or don't we have a formula on the front of your packet, which is 1/2 what? Max minus min. So I need the A value. Another value I need before I write the equation is my C value. Put a little gap here. That's my shift, right? My shift. So they'll either tell me the shift, or I need to find it myself by using the formula 1/2 max plus min. Either way, either they'll come out and tell me and say this is the shift, or I need to find the max and the min and plug it into the formula. Here's the tough part. It's going to be the B value. The B value. I don't have a formula for B. Neither do you. But I do have a formula that involves B, which is what formula that involves B? Period formula. So that's what I'm going to need. P equals 2 pi over B, and I'm going to need to solve for B. I need all three before you write the equation. Okay? All three before we write this equation. A, and just remind yourself, A is amplitude in case they give it to me. What's B called again? Frequency. And C is midline / shift. Okay, midline / shift. Some will be real easy. Some will be real tough to find. All right, let's get a couple going and then I'll let you go on your own. So first one, I wanted to basically serve it up all to you. You don't need to find anything. Write me an equation for sine, amplitude 3, frequency 4, shift up 5. Okay, so let's write that equation. I'm given everything. You don't need, no formulas needed. Do we see that? You have amplitude, frequency, and shift. So got to have y equals to make this an equation. What's your A value? Amplitude, which is 3. You don't need a formula. 3, what kind of function is this? So 3 sine. What's my B value? Frequency, 4. I prefer you put it in parentheses with the x, 4x. And then my shift. How do I write up 5? Plus 5. I served everything up there for you. We didn't really have to find anything. Anything from you guys? Going. Please ask. Basic one. All right, they're going to get a little tougher now. Now it's just the graph. Okay, now it's just the graph. Amplitude, period, and frequency. Let's write the equation. Okay, amplitude, period, frequency. Let's start with amplitude, which is A value. We know how to find that, I hope. We have a formula for it. I don't know, I'm going to go, 13, 14? What are we up to in this class? 13, good. 10, what's my amplitude formula? Yep. All right, so 1/2 looks like my max. How high does this graph go? 1. 1 minus, how low does it go? Minus -1. A value? What's our A value? 1/2 of 1 minus -1. 1? That's done. I always skip over B to last because we already have max and min done, so we might as well just do the shift, the C value, while we're here. 1/2. Now I'm going to add them. 1 plus negative 1. What's that tell me? 1/2 of 1 plus negative 1?
0.
I'm getting 0. Everyone getting 0 in their count, which tells me what? No shift, right? No shift. Okay, here's the tough part. Let's buckle up. Now we got to find our B value. What's the formula I need for B value? I need the period formula, right? Period equals 2 pi over B. So here's where we need the ability. Looking at that graph to find the period. And what's period again? How long it takes to make a full curve. Where would this curve end? Tell me the point on the x-axis where you think this curve would end. Take a look. It ends at 2 pi. I get it. It ends at 2 pi, but that's not a full curve. Where do you think it would end? 4 pi? Everyone agree. Half of it's at 2 pi. It's going to end at 4 pi. So there's your period. 4 pi. Plug it in. 4 pi equals 2 pi over B. This is what we just went over on the quiz. How do you solve that? Cross multiply. Yep, here you go. One at a time. 1 times 2 pi. 2 pi equals 4 pi times B. 4 pi B. How would you like to get B by itself? B by itself here. 1, B by itself. Yep. Divide both sides by 4 pi. So my B value, I'm going to have something cross off. Pi's are gone, so what's my B value? 2/4, 1/2, whatever you want to leave it, but I can't let the pi's in there because they cross out. So my B value is 1/2. Got to use the period formula to find B. Are you ready to write the equation now? Start off, y equals A value. 1, you can write it if you want. That's fine. Write a 1. If you want me to write it, I will. Doesn't have to be there, though. Ooh, there's another piece we didn't talk about. Yeah, you got to tell by the curve what type of curve this is. Take a look. Let's see. What do you think? What curve we got here? 13? A cosine curve, yeah. It starts at the max. Everyone right? It doesn't start at 0, so it's not sine. So yeah, this is a cosine curve. Cosine, what was our B value? So cosine parentheses, 1/2 x. Any shift? You can put plus 0, but nothing should be written there. There you go. There's my equation, cosine 1/2 x. So once you have A, B, and C, we should be all right. Once we have A, B, and C, we should be all right. You want to try one on your own? Go right ahead. Number 3 now. I give you amplitude and the shift. You just got to find that B value, it looks like. So go ahead, try this one on your own. Amplitude's 2, so A value is already 2. C value, you already know, down 1. You just got to find what that B value is. 2/3 for your B value. Please don't forget the x with it. That's a common mistake. Don't forget the x. -1. Anything here? We sure? All right, let's see if we can find anything tougher. Ooh, how about this curve, huh? Go ahead, find your A and C value. Find your A and your C value, and we'll work together to find the B value. So go ahead, find the A and the C before I write the equation. Use your formulas. A value 2, C value 0, no shift. Two and 0. All right, here we go. Now it gets a little tougher. Finding the B value. So you use your period formula to find B. First of all, is this a sine or a cosine curve?
Sine.
Everyone, we're all set there. That's sine. Okay, now remember, the period's not, listen, the period's not 2 pi because that's the last marking here. That's not how this works. You know what a sine curve looks like, correct? Tell me where one sine curve ends, and that's your period. All right, so it starts at 0. That's how you knew it was a sine curve. Where does one sine curve end, and that's our period? Goes to the max, goes to 0, goes to the min, and ends at 0. How long did it take? To pi. Not 2 pi, to pi. So the period is pi. It's where does one curve end, not where the graph ends that you see, where one curve ends, where one sine curve ends. And cross multiply, help me out. Pi b equals 2 pi. What are you dividing both sides here to solve for b? Let's hear from 7. Pi, yep. Divide both sides by pi. So I got b equal to, pi's cancel, my frequency, 2. Go ahead, write the equation for me. 2, write the equation.
2 sine 2x.
Y equals, make sure we got y equals here to make it an equation. 2 sine, in parentheses, 2x. No shift. Five, go ahead, write the equation. There's a part A, but there's a question before that. Write a sine function, amplitude of 1, frequency 1/2, shift up 3. No formulas needed. You got everything. All right, let's hear it now. What's the equation? 11, equation.
Sine 1/2 x plus 3.
Yep, sine, no, you can put the amplitude in there if you want. Sine 1/2 x plus 3. If you want to put the 1 in there for the amplitude, go ahead. All right, a little review. Find the max then. What's the max now? You guys have plenty of practice in this. What's the max? What's the max here? I'll call on somebody here in a second. What's the maximum value of this function? 9. What's the old max?
The old max is 1.
Yep, and then
You add 3, and you go 4.
done. I got 4. Anything from you guys? What's up next here? All right, here we go. 6, a little different. So where on the x-axis does 2 sine 1/2 x increase from 0 to 2? Okay, 2 sine 1/2 x increase from 0 to 2. All right, you want to do a quick sketch? That's what I recommend, doing a quick sketch, seeing where it goes from 0 to 2 on the x-axis. You guys want to remind me, how do I find my x-axis? Because I got a frequency that's not 1. Frequency is 1/2, so it's not going to be pi over 2 pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. So this goes from yesterday. Remind me how to find what my x values have to be. What's the first thing I need to find? From yesterday. You guys just graphed one before we started class today, too. How do I find how to set up my x-axis? Key values, but before I get to a key value, I need where it ends, which is the what? I need the period, right? I need the period. So go ahead, let's find the period. What's the period of this one? What's that?
You have the b value.
I know, but I don't have the period, right? B value doesn't tell me anything as far as the graph goes. It helps me find the period, which tells me where this thing's going to end. When you're ready, let me know what the period is. 5, when you're ready, let me know what it is. 4 pi, good. Skip and flip. So that tells me, hey, I'm going to end at 4 pi. Now you find your key values. I take 4 pi and cut it evenly into 4s. So I'm going to go by, there you go, pi. Next person, tell me what my x-axis is going to look like then. Oh, 9. What's my x-axis going to look like? It's got to start where? 0. What's that?
Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. 0, and then you do pi, and 2 pi, 3 pi.
There you go. All good? How high is this graph going to go? How high? 2 and down to? -2. That's the a value out in front, right? No, any shift I got to worry about? Nope. All right. No shift to worry about. Perfect. I love it when there's no shift to worry about. So 4, help me out here. Where's sine start? No, 4. 10. Where does sine start?
Sine starts at 0.
Then goes where?
Then it goes to the max.
Yep. Then where?
Then it goes to the 0.
Then?
Then it goes to the minimum.
Yep. And?
Back to the
There you go. Let's answer the question now. What interval on the x-axis does it go from 0 to 2? There's only one spot, right? It goes from 0 to 2. Where on the x-axis does it go 0 to 2? From? 0 to pi. What do you think? Brackets, parentheses? Parentheses, increasing. So there you go. There's my answer. From 0 to pi. Could we have gotten around that doing other? Yeah, I'm sure we could have just thought about it and said, oh, it goes from 0 to the max right away, but I like to see a visual of it. 7, you're on 7. Let's see if anybody, this is the first time it says reflected in the x-axis, so let's see if anybody notices that when they write their equation. But you got your amplitude, you got your shift, and now I gave you the period, so use it to find your b value. And let's see if anybody knows what to do about that reflected in the x-axis business. I know you got it. But find your b value first, because you got a and c already. Okay. Your a value was already 2. C value -1. B value, let's see, we did 3 pi. I think we've done this one already today, huh? 2 pi over b. What was b there? 2/3?
Yeah.
All right, ready? So most of us, y equals 2. It's a cosine. 2/3 x down 1. Perfect. Reflected in the x-axis. What have we seen when we had to flip?
Negative.
Where?
Amplitude.
There you go. So make sure we got a negative in front of our a value. Okay, remember that tells you got to flip, right? Tells you got to flip. That's the one little detail left. Reflected in the x-axis, we got to make sure I put a negative in front of the a value. All right, one more big one here on your own. Can you guys first, don't graph. Don't graph. Just find your a, b, find the equation first. All right, write the equation for me here. This one's it. I haven't given you much. I gave you the max, the min, and the period. Find a, b, and c now. Here you go. You got formulas for a and c, and you got a period formula to find b. You got this. Just write the equation for me first. And then I want to talk to you about graphing. I'm kind of combining today's notes into yesterday's on this question. How about 4 and 10 for your A and C values? 4 and 10. B value? Are you dividing both sides by 12? Right? You could leave it 2 pi over 12. I'm all right with that, but this would be, the B value would be what? Pi over 6. Yep. Pi over 6 if you want to reduce it. But, I'm not going to mark it off if you leave it 2 pi over 12 and don't reduce. All right, so the equation, y equals, we got A, B, and C there for you. Put them all together for me. 12, put them all together.
Y equals 4 cosine pi over 6 plus 10.
Yep, perfect. Everyone good? Are you ready to graph? All set on the graph? All right, let's put an X and Y. Let's at least just put the X and the Y axes here first. Let's do Y-axis first. Y-axis, what do you at least got to have on the Y-axis? Talk to me. 3 values you should always have on the Y-axis if they're there. Minimum, maximum, midline / shift. So I should have, ready? Bless you. I should have 14, 6, and what's my midline? Shift. 10. So those are the 3 values I should have on my Y-axis right now. 6, 14, and 10, whatever you go by. If you want to move your X-axis down a little bit more so you have more room on the positive Y-axis, that's fine, but whatever gets the job done. I just need 6, 14, and 10 on that bad boy. Can I fit 2s here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 6, 12, 14. Okay. All right, X-axis. Do we know the period?
Yes.
Yeah, we do. So we know it should end at 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what I did yesterday. It's going to end at 12, right? Oh, shoot. Son of a gun. Nope. I did this one on purpose because I don't read the directions either. Go back to the directions at the end. For at least 2 full cycles. Okay, so we're going to have to graph it to 12 and then graph it to what? 24, yeah. So we're going to have to actually have 8 tick marks on here. 5, 6, 7, 8. Because we got to graph 2 cycles. So yes, one of them will end at 12. Next one will end at 24. Can you guys tell me what you're going to go by? How do we figure out what we're going to go by? Take your period and divide by 4. Your key value, divide by 4. So 12 divided by 4? 3. So we're going to go by 3s. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Where's cosine start?
Max.
Okay, here we go. Right, here we go. Max to where? Not to the 0, but to the midline. What's my midline? 10. Then where?
Minimum.
Minimum. Back to the midline. Back to the max. And there's one curve. Now let's do it again. So I should have 2 cosine curves here. Go ahead and finish it up. Connect them, and we're good to go here. Two cycles. Have a good weekend.